Hey, it's your Big Twin Foodies. I'm Dael.
I'm Mike.
And we're here at our studios. And Mike, I tell you what, when we had the honor of and the privilege of going out and taking supplies and stuff to give some relief to the Hurricane Helene victims up in the mountains here. And we were asked to go film a documentary. And while we was doing that, something happened.
Yeah, we were going along the North Toe near Green Mountain, and we were documenting houses that got wiped off their foundations. And when we got to one particular house, we noticed a bunch of mud-encrusted motorcycles and a couple people with a forklift lifting yet another motorcycle out of the mud. So, being motorcycle guys, we turned around and we went back and we met the owner of those motorcycles, a gentleman named Dave Keister, and we interviewed him in this video.
And we want you to stay tuned because at the end, Dave is actually going to give 2 sites to where if you want to help with relief by giving donation stuff, coming directly from his mouth. That way you know that it's not a fake site and you know that your money is going to where it's supposed to be going to. Stay tuned. Okay, with us to our right is Dave Keister and his brother Hillbilly Tom. And guys, now, you want to tell us what happened, Dave?
I lost my house.
Lost your house?
Your house ran away.
The river took my house and made it a boat. And it lasted about a mile until it took out the big bridge downriver. Full restoration shop. And some interesting eclectic bikes. The oldest one was 101 years old. And
that was the BSA?
Yeah, it's the BSA. Yeah. And some pretty rare bikes. And then just some average old 70s Hondas and stuff. But they, some of them were special to me. Maybe not special to anyone else, but they were special to me. And some that were museum pieces. And now they're museum pieces with a little bit of an extra story. Because our road guys, they're awesome helping us out. They've actually helped me find a couple of bikes down in the river and get them out, which is amazing. Still finding bikes down in the river. It's just crazy.
Do you have a count of how many bikes you had on hand before the flood hit?
It was right at 30. And so I've got 2 that are unaccounted for right now.
That you actually raced with sidecar.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is such a sport as sidecar racing.
Oh, yes. And Americans were not known for sidecar racing back in those days. So they're like, oh, how's this a Yank going to do on the bike? Even the announcers were questioning if he was going to be able to complete the whole race. He took 2nd place. I think he did a fine job. He ended up racing with that driver for the next year throughout Europe. Mm-hmm. That's the same man that got me involved in sidecar racing 25 years later, something like that.
So explain what is your rig? What is the motorcycle and
So the main one that we rode, we had 2 different bikes on our team that we rode. One was a 1993 built machine that had a Honda 450 power plant. And then pretty much everything else was custom built for the bike. Even the wheels were custom built for the bike. Then we also raced a KZ1000.
I've noticed the cup you're holding there. It's got a logo on it there.
It does. So we have an international organization called Three Wheeling, and I am one of the international sidecar ambassadors. And we do just like what we're doing now. We share our love of sidecars, and that's our logos, the 3 fingers. We have 3 wheels, and it's loads of fun. So if you see anything sidecar relating at Isle of Man, this is who sponsors it.
Oh.
It's Three Wheeling, and we have ambassadors all over the world. And we're all at racetracks, and we help get people involved in sidecar racing if they want. We set up taxi rides at lunchtime, so the average person will put them in leathers and take you out for an easy ride. We won't put you at race pace because most people can't handle that. And a lot of new racers start out, that's their first experience on the track, is taking a taxi ride. And they either love it or they run away screaming. There's no in between.
Yeah.
Okay. You're talking about track. Now, what kind of track is it? Oval track, dirt track,
no,
or
road course? Road course.
It's a road course.
We're trying to get them back over at Nelson Ledges. So that's some sidecarring doing. Now, of course, Mid-Ohio, That's where AMA does their sidecar race. Well, they only do one sidecar race for their national championship. They don't have a full series of sidecar racing. ARMA, the American Historic Motorcycle Racing Organization, is the only organization in the country that has a national road racing sidecar series for both modern and vintage bikes.
Now you do the vintage.
I do both.
You do? Oh, you do both?
Yeah, I do both. So I will passenger, and I do more teaching and education in helping teams grow their tempos. Like I go out with the driver on the bike and ride with them and learn the bike, and then watch the passenger ride, and then I'll teach the passenger how they can shave off a little bit of time in how they're manipulating their body on the track to go a little bit faster. And that's fun. But I generally don't race the modern bikes. I like the vintage bikes. So on a modern bike, you basically, from the back, you go left to right. And that's about it. On a vintage bike, you go from back to front. So your dynamic movement, much more important.
You're talking about the movement on the sidecar. You go.
Yes, the movement of the passenger climbing around the sidecar.
Yeah.
On a modern one, you just move left to right.
Uh,
On the vintage ones, you move back right to front left.
so, the name of your team, your
Monkey
team,
foot.
Monkey Foot, and you
Yeah.
told us an interesting story.
When I started building some custom bikes, I was like, I'll call it monkey football. Because everyone knows a big guy on a little tiny bike looks like a monkey football. Well, I couldn't explain that to my younger members of my family and friends, so I called it monkey foot because you need monkey feet to hang on because they go so fast. The old schoolers still get the joke. The young folks, they don't understand, but that's probably okay.
Well, are you going to race again one day? Or?
I will.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah. I was invited to go race at Daytona this year, but this happened instead. So
Okay.
I missed out the national championship at Barber, and then a new series we're trying to put together with a new race organization, and they were down at Daytona. So missed out on that. I was going to be on the banking. Yeah. Next
So
year.
when do they race at Daytona? In the fall?
They do in the spring and in the fall. There's two different race series that go on in there.
Is
so
it during bike week?
yeah, it's during bike week. Yeah.
Really?
So you've
'Cause-
got spring bike. The
Yeah.
thing is about bike week, hey everybody, if you're going to bike week in Daytona, go visit the track. No one does, and that's where all the fun is.
Yeah.
That
I do.
stadium
We
is
do.
empty.
Dael and I
Everyone
do.
goes out to the front to all the big displays and all that. Spend the $5. Spend the extra $10 for the paddock pass. Come down and be in motorcycle heaven for a week and meet all the real racers that are out there having fun and doing their thing. You'll see history. You'll meet people that were racing Daytona when it was still on the beach.
Yeah.
That's the fun of Daytona. I never leave the track when I get to Daytona, and I have more fun than all of y'all put together outside of the track.
We were talking about the bagger racing the other day, and that's
Yeah.
the one I'm into now. Just
Yeah.
because of the sound. I just love
Totally. And if you want to get in contact with me, it's Toe River Threadworks at Gmail. That's toe like the body part, TOE River Threadworks at gmail.com. Drop me a note. If you want to send some support to our community, I have a GoFundMe. I'll get you that information if you email me. The money I'm raising is helping go to a national tour for community awareness and raising money for my community here that I will personally be putting in people's hands to make sure it goes to the right place.